Welcome to BigBossBattle.com. My name is Removal Sanity, and today I am looking at Atomic Heist from developer Live Aliens, and this is on the Xbox One X. So what is Atomic Heist? The best way to describe Atomic Heist is a challenging top-down retro-style shooter on which you will need all your nerves of steel and your abilities to get through procedurally generated levels. Now, unlike the gameplay, the premise of the game is incredibly simple. There's been a huge and long grueling space age war between two races. It's up to you to take out the main mothership's core, which was stolen from your faction. And this leads me on to the gameplay. The game starts with you picking up the radiated core. Now it's your duty to carry this through randomly generated maze-like levels to the end and get it back to your faction. Sounds simple, right? Well, there is a catch. As I said, the core is radiated and it will slowly deplete your shield and armor the longer you carry it. However, don't worry, there's a big assortment of power-ups and health packages which you can pick up throughout the level to keep your armor and shields up at peak performance. However, to attain these pickups, you will have to get them from the bad guy's corpse, and there is a plethora of bad guy ships all strewn across the levels, all trying to stop you from progressing any further. I'll warn you now, these enemy ships' weapons have a high damage rating on them, so a couple of shots will deplete your shields in a matter of seconds, and they're also pretty agile, so you're going to need a decent amount of reflexes in your abilities to weave around the levels and the ships without getting too much damage. So in short, kill fast and kill quickly whilst picking up anything you can to boost your ever shrinking radiation shield and also upgrade your armor and your ammo. So this being a roguelike shooter, expect to die a lot, and trust me, you will. My first few games barely lasted 30 seconds without me blowing up and strewn across the level in a mass of bits. It took me a while to finally understand the levels I was playing and work out the enemy types and avoid them, and even then I was destroyed still within a matter of seconds. But once you get past that and you start to get upgrades, the game itself slowly becomes a little easier, and I do mean slowly and little. Now, any roguelike game always relies on its upgrades and its perks, and this is where Atomic Heist really shines. The game does give you enough upgrades and perks, slowly progressing so that your runs become better and better as you progress. These perks can vary from increased health to increased firepower, and the upgrades themselves can be just different weapons in general. One of the best upgrades I found myself, which helped me push through the first level better than what I did, was the explosive shot. With this I actually managed to complete a level, and that feeling at the end of it was fantastic. Now, whilst the game is addictive and very enjoyable, there are some flaws to it, and this is due to the fact the game itself has no tutorials. Now, whilst on screen upgrades can be chosen there and then, the perk system has to be done within the game's hub menu. The trouble is, the game doesn't tell you that, so when you first start flying and dying, you don't realise that you've actually got a selection of perks you can utilise on your next run through. So you keep going through and dying and think, well, this is getting very frustrating. However, if you go into the sub menu, you'll then be able to realise that you've probably unlocked a variety of perks which will help progress your runs through a lot easier. So what about the graphics? Well, as you can see here, this is a very retro style futuristic shooter. This aesthetically reminds me of a little bit like Hotline Miami. Maybe you can see what I'm trying to say here. Not just because of the visual top down style, but that it has almost a rough and sprite gritty drawnness to it. I actually quite enjoy this style, so for me, I absolutely love this sort of retro look to it. Now, the stage designs are procedurally generated, so what the developer has done here is he's put in a variety of different colour tiles which then make up the maze-like stages. For me, okay, it's nothing astounding. Visually it's okay, but this helps, I suppose, when it comes to procedurally generating different levels and making the game feel fresh. Generally, you're not too worried about it. Visually, it meets its retro futuristic style. I just would prefer, my own personal preference was maybe that's a few more tiles to give it a little bit more variety in terms of the actual maze levels themselves. However, putting that aside, the game does visually come alive because of its effects, and these effects are fantastic. Anything from basically hitting an energy wall, so the screen has a purple tinge to it that shows that your ship's badly damaged, to the mass of explosions, to the actual bullets themselves. Visually, this is fantastic, and when you're in a maze-like area with a plethora of enemies swarming around you, the game can look a visual treat with explosions going left, right and centre, shots coming at you. It is beautiful and really does pop at the screen. So what about the sound? Well, the game itself has a almost low-toned electronic soundtrack. It's also like a background soundtrack. It doesn't detract from the main game's gameplay. It just is there to keep you moving forward and keep you pumping through. What really is the main focus of the sound in this game is the explosions, the shots, and the different ship sounds. They are actually ramped up and are higher, and as you can hear here, everything is very, very weighty. Every sound feels different, every explosion feels different here. It's been really well done, and because of the background music has been toned down a bit, it does feel and give you a bit more oomph when you're in these big open-ended battles with variety of enemies. So what is my take on Atomic Heist? Well, I can tell you now, for me, I absolutely love this little gem of a roguelike shooter. It gets a big thumbs up, and this is for the following reasons. Once you work out how to use the perk system in this ship selection hub system, you'll absolutely love this game. It's an addictive little roguelike shooter that's easy to use, but will take some practice for you to complete. The game itself is really enjoyable, and its levels is absolutely fantastic to fly around and progress through. Now, being procedurally generated, the game has a large replayability factor. That as well, it also comes with a variety of different ships to unlock and a variety of different perks as well. The game's price isn't that bad either, and is currently out at $8.99 or about $10 US. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I do hope you enjoyed this review. If you do, please do give us a thumbs up and maybe even a comment in the comments section. Until next time though, have a great time gaming.